Good evening, everybody. My name is Frankie Kington. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Frankie's Healthy Homegrown Foods. And I'm with my dear friend again, Quincey Adams, and she's all the way from America. And she is a specialist in homegrown foods, and she's teaching me how to grow my own grown foods. So what we're going to talk about today, I'd just like to show you quickly, if you want to see. These are my homegrown onions, and they're really coming on. So that's where I'm starting off. But my lettuces, I'm not going to show you them because I think they're dying away a little bit. So I'm going to have to put them in some new water and do some more of my lettuces. So I'd like to introduce you to Quincy. She's the expert, the specialist. She's the one who's going to show us how to do some more homegrown foods. She's going to talk to us about what homegrown food she's doing, what is the best for everybody. Quincy, take it away.
Thanks, Frankie. Right now it's fall and almost wintertime. So I like to do a lot of leafy greens in the wintertime because they're usually more cold hardy, and I can do some stuff outside as well as inside. But bringing stuff inside in the wintertime is a good way to keep on gardening because when the weather gets cold, a lot of things can't survive outside. But being able to grow some of your own food is a really good, healthy option. And even if you're just adding something that you grew to something that you're making, it just makes it healthier and it gives you a better feeling of satisfaction from what you cooked.
Tell me some more about these leafy greens. What are the leafy greens?
Oh, there's so many. So things like lettuce, cabbages, bok choy, spinach. There's all kinds of Asian greens. I've been doing a lot of Asian greens lately because a lot of them are cold hardy. So you have things like also kales, anything else in the Nebraska family. But a lot of things like edible, what is the word? I'm losing the word. Chrysanthemum. I just started growing that this year. I love it. It's like spicy. I do a lot of mustard greens. You could probably grow mustards from seeds that you bought at the grocery store. That's probably something else that you could grow from your pantry. And then things like Methi seeds, you can grow those from ones you grow.
Sorry, Quincy.
I'm sorry?
What was that name? Methi Seeds?
Methi, that's what they're called. They're fenugreek, but they're like if you buy them in seed, they're usually labeled Methi. You get them at the Asian grocery store. So normally around here, the store that I get them from is Lotte, but I'm not sure how grocery stores are laid out in the UK, but you normally have to go to a specialty grocery store to find those around here.
That's fantastic. I mean, I'm looking to hopefully grow most of them homegrown foods. What's jumping out to me at the moment is spinach. Yeah, I would say the Jamaican version of spinach is called callaloo.
Yes,
callaloo, Quincy.
I have. I am not growing any, but I have heard of it.
Well, callaloo is like a spinach, but I know callaloo it's got like onions and it's got a lot of iron in it. So I need a lot of iron because I lack vitamin D because of the sunlight and the country where I live in the United Kingdom. So callaloo has a lot of iron, so that's what I need for my growth and for my body, for me to become more fit and more healthier. What would you say the qualities are in spinach and not some of these homegrown foods, Quincy? Did they have sort of like good vitamins? What vitamins did they have? What qualities for our bodies did they have? What make us healthy?
Off the top of those are all good choices. Like most leafy greens have a lot of vitamins in them. Off the top of my head, I can't compare them based on their actual nutritional value. But I do know that like anything that's in that category is really good for vitamins. And even something like moringa, it grows on a tree. It's not a leafy green, but like it's a leafy vegetable or you can eat the leaves that has a very high nutritional content. Kale has a high nutritional content. Spinach has a high nutritional content. I don't know exactly what vegetable or what vitamins are in all of them, but generally those are high and you get a lot of nutrition for a small like amount of plant. So it's a good choice for if you only have a small amount of space. You can grow a small amount and it's very nutrient dense without taking up a lot of space.
That's really good. So the main thing is, Quincy, like you said, about the homegrown foods that have a lot of vitamins in them. And like you said, I like vitamin D. So, like I said, spinach is jumping out for me. There's some other foods, what you've mentioned there, which I've not heard about, but surely we can explore when I'm a little bit more experienced and my onions have grown. Yeah, maybe I can explore some more different foods and some more options, what you've got of homegrown food, which can really help people to keep them healthy. Yeah. So, do you have a greenhouse, Quincy? Do you say you have a greenhouse at your house? Do you put your plants in the greenhouse? Can you leave them in your garden? Can you leave them in your garden shed? Can you leave them in your kitchen? What do you prefer?
I've got plants everywhere. I do
Everywhere.
have greenhouses. I've got 3 of them. They're very small. They're just like it's a metal frame with a plastic cover. So they're the cheap ones that you just buy on Amazon and have them shipped to your house. So they're not sturdy on their own. They have to be in a protected area, and they're unheated. So they're only going to keep the stuff inside the greenhouse at a temperature of like it's about 10 degrees higher than what's the outside air. But it's good for cold hardy vegetables. It's good for getting stuff started in the spring and for a little bit of season extension into the fall. And in my kitchen, I do have kitchen scraps of my own going. So right now I've got some carrots, parsnips, radishes, some bok choy up on my counter in the kitchen.
What's
and then
that
down
called again,
here,
Quincy? Pop choy.
bok choy.
Pop choy. I've heard of pop choy. Bok choy. So what's? Have you heard of pop choy? I think it's a pop choy.
They're the same. Pak choy and bok choy are the same.
Wow, what a coincidence. So right, so why bok pie? Why bok choy? And bok is it pop choy? Why are they different then? Why are they given different names?
I don't know. I think
Interesting, isn't it?
it's whatever, like it's the one that I have, that's what I bought it and that's what they called it. So I'm like, okay, this is bok choy. The seeds that I've gotten, they say bok choy on them, but it's the same thing.
Wow, interesting. And I don't think I've seen them, to be honest, Quincy. I wouldn't even know what pop chai or bok choy looks like. Explain it. Is it a big plant? Smart.
They can be kind of big. They're like it's got a lettuce type leaf at the top,
Right.
but it's got a thick stalk, kind of like celery.
Celery, right.
So
Yeah,
it's like it's got a wide, thick like base, and it's shaped kind of like a mushroom.
wow. I love mushrooms.
Yeah, but they're cold hardy and they're very nutritious. They're very easy to use. You can just like chop them up and put them in anything. So you can have them raw on a lettuce, or in a salad. You can stir fry them because you can cook them. So I like to grow stuff in the wintertime you can either eat it raw or cook it, because sometimes I like to just throw some leafy greens into something that I'm cooking, like a soup, or if I'm making scrambled eggs, or stir fry. I have the 5 S's that I tell people, and they're like, what do I do with these vegetables? I'm like, well, there's 5 different types of things you can put them in, and they all start with S, so they're easy to remember.
Wow. And these small little greenhouses, what you said, Quincy, what you have in your house or your garden, how many plants do they hold? Can you have like small greenhouses, or can you have like a bit bigger, or did you come in?
No, they're small. Though I have one on my deck that's 4 feet by 2 feet, and it's about 6.5 feet tall. And so I keep all of my like stuff that can't handle the winter here. So like your growing zone, like my growing zone is like I'm on the edge of a 7A and a 7B. So things that are supposed to be hardy to like a zone 8, I keep them in the greenhouse over the winter time because it keeps it a little bit warmer. And then I have 2 more in my yard. Well, one it's assembled, the other one is not assembled yet, but I've got them so I can I can do cold hardy stuff over the winter time and get a jump on things in the spring. But those are like 4 feet by 4 feet by 6 feet. So they're small and you can just like step in, but they've got shelves, and then you can put, I don't know, like a good 20 to 30 plants of different sizes in them.
Wow, that's incredible. Wow, that's something what obviously I'm going to think about in the future, getting a greenhouse and stuff. Do you watch any shows, Quincy? Because what shows do we have? We have loads of gardening shows. on TV? Any popular ones in America, which you
I don't watch. I
probably
don't
get?
watch TV. I don't. I watch gardening stuff on YouTube. So
Oh,
there's a
you watch
couple
on
of
YouTube.
gardeners in the UK that I watch, but I don't watch any gardening shows on TV. I used to, but I don't watch TV anymore. But as far as YouTubers in the UK, I like Charles Dowding. I like Lynn Zorad, but by the sea or by their farms. And then there's another guy. He's a young guy. I cannot think of his name. You asked me something I was not prepared for. His
Charles
name is
Banting.
oh, I can't think of it. There's another guy that I watch. He's in the UK. He does a lot of collabs with Liz, and he's done collabs with other gardeners in other countries that I watch.
Incredible.
His name escapes me at the moment, but he's a young guy. He's only in his early 20s, and he's got a book. Wow. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. I'll think of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Done.
Wow, fantastic. So Quincy, thanks again for being on my YouTube. You've actually helped me developing my knowledge of homegrown foods. And I think what I'd like to concentrate on, or maybe I'd like to concentrate on, is the spinach, because I love spinach. And the pop chai and the bok chai seems quite interesting. So I might be growing some of them as well, further on, Quincy, down our next show, so we can show the audience what we're actually growing and what's important for us. Anything else you would say is important around homegrown foods or gardening? So I'm sure that we can grow these as well in our garden. Would you say that? If you have a big garden in your grass, have you ever thought of growing them in your garden? Can you grow them into big trees or plants?
I live where I live in a townhouse. So my house is connected to a neighbor on one side. I have a very small yard in the front. We're not allowed to grow food up there by our homeowners association. In the back, my backyard is a concrete slab.
Wow.
So I grow everything in containers. So I've got containers on the concrete and containers on my deck. So and that's because I've always lived in small places. I always garden in containers. So I'm always looking for maximizing what I can grow in a small area. That's why I do kitchen scrap gardening. And I also use garden tech, like Click and Grow Gardens and Arrow Gardens, because I can do those inside in a compact area all year round. So as long as you've got good light, you can grow something. So if you're doing kitchen scraps, you just need some decent light. If you're doing stuff in containers in soil, you need soil in a container and good light. If you're growing in a system, like one of those, like an Arrow Garden, it comes with its own lights. Those are aquaponics and hydroponics, so you don't need soil. They come with the seeds and everything. You just add the fertilizer if it tells you to add fertilizer. So those are easy for beginners, and that's something you can do inside all year round. So I like to be able to grow as much as possible for as long as possible. I don't like to give that up for the winter time. So you really have to rethink your garden and what it's going to look like, and rethink space if you're going to grow in a small area.
So obviously as well, Quincy, in the summertime, a different setup.
Yes.
A different setup. So thanks, Quincy, for what we've got out of this lesson today. Quincy talked about containers. Quincy talked about good lighting. Quincy talked about small greenhouses. And we can enter in the greenhouse, he said as well, Quincy. Yeah, we can get into the greenhouses. So there's 3 little tips what Quincy talked about today in our YouTube channel. I will take that away, and I will definitely put that into practice. Better lighting. I'm going to have different places where we're going to grow these, so I can educate the audience, and Quiz can educate me as well. And we get different views for you and different sceneries of different foods and how we're going about this. So Quincy has given us 3 great tips there. Quincy, any more tips before we go in, my dear?
Just try. If you're interested in growing something, just try.
when you're trying, guys, you always make better efforts when you're trying. And they always say that the Lord above loves a trier. I always say, yeah, people who try, great things come out of people who are trying and making the effort. So please, guys, keep on making the effort. I'd just like to say hello to Quincey, my dear friend. And what I like about Quincey on her YouTube channel, Onions and Tomatoes, she's always giving little tasks and little sort of like tasks and little like adventures for people to do regarding gardening. And I'm always plugging into and she's always educating us on homegrown foods and how she does it and where she puts them. So remember Quincey Adams, Ladies and Tomatoes, please, if you love what she does, click on the YouTube channel, notification button, and you get all her content. People know me as a wise entrepreneur. My name is Frankie Kington, and thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, and lovely business people, entrepreneurs, intropreneurs and infopreneurs. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you again on our next YouTube channel. Take care. My warmest wishes to you all. Thank you. Thank you, Quincey.
Bye.
Bye.